Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Papi Brit. Welcome to the Platicando con Papi podcast. If it's your first time here, then welcome. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. Thank you so much for making time and space for me. It really does mean a lot. Before we get started, I wanted to highlight a really dope event that's going to be taking place on December 19th. A few of my friends, I would consider them friends, but they're really dope people that I know from school and just from them doing really dope work in the community. But they are working on this photo exhibit at the Museum of Contemporary Art called Unheard Resilience, which gives a powerful insight into the stories of youth living in Denver. And it's in collaboration with Urban Peak, which Urban Peak is very near and dear to my heart because when I was housing people experiencing homelessness, I did that for 3 years. Their office was right next to mine, and a lot of the youth that they were helping were also clients of mine. So they do really dope work with youth experiencing homelessness in Denver. They're also doing a coat drive and are taking coat donations. So if you guys have any extra coats that you're able to donate, especially for our Colorado winters, then definitely check out that event. Again, it's on December 19th called Unheard Resilience, and it is a photo exhibit at the Museum of Contemporary Art. So if you have a chance to check it out, definitely do. But with all that being said, I'm finally back. I know it's been a while, and I say this every time, but as I've mentioned before, I will post and record when it feels right to me, and I actually just had to block someone because of that same reason. I have mentioned this many times that a lot of times I don't feel motivated or inspired to create content, and so I don't. And this individual, although they had good intentions, continued to comment on my YouTube channel constantly and saying, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to post this, and you need to post that, you need to post shows, and you need to do this. And I was just like getting to a point where it was just really like a lot for me. Like, I'd be at work working at double, and they'd be like, oh, it's been 12 days. Where have you been? You need to post this, you need to post that. And I'm like, look, I know how long it's been, and I truly appreciate people pushing me to continue to post, and believe me, that's the goal. But I don't want to just put out content just to put out content, just to gain views, to gain followers, whatever else. Like I've mentioned before, I want my content to be authentic, and what I talk about to be authentic to me and to actually resonate and have some type of value. So yeah, but I'm finally back. It's actually been kind of an interesting week. I had a really bad mental breakdown last Wednesday that led me to like a really bad downward spiral, and it all started with me finding this account on Twitter that, it's one of those like accounts that has no username, no picture, no nothing. Then they just spew out hate. But I realized that they had been commenting on a bunch of my tweets and just saying like the most out of pocket, just like ugly shit. And it like just threw me off. And honestly, like what they were saying wasn't necessarily what was pissing me off. It was more that they were so dedicated to commenting hate on all my shit, but were also watching my shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you hate me so bad, why are you entertaining me and my content and commenting and engaging with it? Like, why are you spending so much time, energy, and effort into someone you claim to hate? And it just really upset me because I'm the type of person that when I'm on social media, like, I'm looking at everyone through loving eyes, and I'm cheering people on, and I'm happy to see people's accomplishments. And I love social media because it's another form of me being able to connect with people and like show them love. And, I love it in that aspect. And so it's crazy to me to see that so many people use it in such a negative way, that they just sit there like behind a screen and just are committed to trying to break people that they don't even know down. So I don't know, it just really upset me because I'm like, I don't bother anyone. Like I all I do is try to show love and try to be the best person that I can be. I've never claimed to be perfect in any way, shape, or form. And so, holding me to that standard is always going to lead to disappointment. So, yeah, this individual is literally committed to just sending me some really out of pocket shit. And it really upset me that I actually engaged with it. And I think that's what I was most mad at, because I know that people are just like so miserable within themselves that they just try to bring other people down. But I mean, sometimes they just like I said, what really got me was like, why are people so committed to hating on me for like, I literally don't bother anyone. Like, I don't do anything with negative intentions. My intention's never to hurt anyone or anything of that sort. And I just continues, like, I always just get so much hate, and I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, he was just saying some like really like vile shit. I'm like, the fact that you even think this way, it just tells me everything that I need to know as a person, because clearly you don't value women. You are just a miserable person, like, but just saying like, I've been passed around, that I complain on social media 24/7 about men, but they're the same men who pay my bills half naked at work, and that I'm just, he said he wouldn't fuck me if I was the last female standing. He said, she's annoying, like, shut up and quit talking shit about men when all they do is pay your bills. You're not Kim Kardashian, so chill, shorty. A whole degree with nothing to show for it. Just show your ass and titties for money. I can't even sit there and watch a full video. You say a whole lot of nothing. And just some like really fucked up shit. And I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, why are you so upset? Like, what the fuck? And it's one of those men that just are already committed to misunderstanding me as a person, and that don't value me as a person and don't see me worth more than just my physical. So I really don't care. But it just really upset me that I engaged with it. And so that whole day was just really, really shitty. And then it just got to a point where I just spiraled because I had a really shitty day at work, and I just felt like everything hit me all at once. And I was just like, why am I subjecting myself to this hate? Like, why go on the internet and like share the most vulnerable parts of me, and then only to have it thrown in my face, or have people misinterpret it, or just say some out of pocket shit and just hate on me so much. And I even told one of my regulars, Kurt, he's literally like been such a godsend to me as of lately, especially with my podcast. He's always encouraging me to keep going, and just like, he's someone I can tell everything to. And like, I call him my little life coach, because like I literally go to him for everything, and he just continues to push me and sees my value and reminds me of it, and is just like a huge motivator for me. But I was telling him, I was like, I've been having a bad day. Like, I received these comments, and they were just so hateful. And I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, it's not even fucking worth it. And he was like, you're really going to let one miserable ass person, like, stop you from doing, like, what you enjoy? Like, really? He was like, really, Brit? Like, and they were just, him and his friend were at work, or at my job. And they were like, they even hated Jesus. So, like, it is what it is. Like, people are always gonna have something to say, and like, especially those people who are miserable and who are insecure within themselves. And I literally just saw a quote on TikTok too, like, a lot of people will talk about you because when they talk about themselves, nobody listens. So they know that the most engagement they'll get is when they are commenting hateful shit towards me, and that makes them feel good about themselves. So it is what it is. But I had to remind myself that I'm the alchemist in my life, and that any energy directed at me is welcome, because I'm the one who gets to decide how I receive it and what I do with it. And so I could let those comments break me down and make it so that I don't want to continue to do this podcast or do what I actually enjoy, or I can use it to motivate me and prove that I can still going to continue to show up and I'm still going to continue to shine my light. And even if it makes those people who are so dark within themselves uncomfortable, like, that has nothing to do with me. And I thought to myself, what would upset this man the most? Like, obviously he wants me to stop posting. He wants to break my confidence down. So what would upset him the most is for me to continue to show up and continue to say a whole lot of nothing, like he says, because clearly he's still very much tuned into what I'm doing, still giving me engagement. And it also reminded me as to why I even started my podcast in the first place, why I started my YouTube channel in the first place. And it's because I've always had people that like to tune into what I'm doing and tune into my energy. And so I ultimately got to be grateful for the people that are sitting there taking the time to watch my videos and comment no matter what it is. Like I said, I can use that as a motivator. But as I was having that breakdown on Wednesday, one of my friends, Mo, actually text or DM me and was like, hey, I'm having a rough time. Like, I need someone to talk to. And I was so deep in the trenches that I was in bed, like in the dark, just crying my eyes out and having the ugliest thoughts and just telling myself that I was completely worthless and that I was just such a bother and that I was so annoying and that no one loved me and that I was not worthy of anything. And it just completely spiraled. Started thinking about my dad, and it just went really, really, really downhill into a very dark place. And I told him, I was like, I'm sorry. Like, there's been a lot of times where I've been there for him, and I'm grateful that he considers me a safe space where he can come to me and, like, you know, let everything down and allow me to, you know, share space with him. So I was like, you know, I'm sorry, but like, I'm literally laying in bed crying my eyes out right now. Like, I have nothing to give right now. I just don't have it in me. And he was like, you know, well, I'm here for you too. Like, I got you if you need anything. And I was just like, no, like, I'm okay. Like, I always say, like, I'm okay. I'm always okay. I'm always going to be okay. Like, one way or another, I'm going to figure it out. Like, I'm going to be okay. So a lot of times I don't even like to talk about what I'm going through, because I'm like, it's okay. Like, I will, like, it'll be fine. One day I'll get over it, you know? I just got to a point where it was really bad, and I finally was like, you know what? Let me call him. And so I was like, hey, can I call you? He was like, yeah. So he sat there on the phone with me, and I literally just broke down about, you know, all the hate that I receive and just being so sick of receiving so much hate, and just broke down about my issues with my dad, and broke down about just feeling like I'm a failure, and broke down about, you know, everything. And it was literally like I'm so grateful for that moment, because he really like held me up and was there for me. And it reminded me of the kind of friend that I am, because I know that he showed up for me in that way because I've shown up for him in that way. And so even though it was really, really shitty, like, I feel like I hit kind of a pretty big low. But from then on, like, this whole week has been just a reminder of how blessed I am, how lucky I am, how loved and how supported I am. So I think me having that breakdown completely stripped me of everything, and I was finally like, you know, I'm done. Like, what's next? And I'm grateful that Mo was there to remind me that I'm worthy. And he said something that was very special to me and that really like resonated with me, and it was the fact that the love that people have for me is what keeps me going. And that's very, 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 very true. But also the love I have for other people is what keeps me going. And when I think about, like, you know, feeling like I don't want to continue, I think about my baby sister, and I think about my little brother, and I think about my mom, and I think about my brother, and I think about my sobrinos, and I just think about all the people that I love so, so dearly, and remind myself that those are the people that matter, and those are the people that do care if I am here or not, you know? My little sister actually just got a phone. She has been sending me so many pictures and showing me her art and taking selfies of her and this her toda despeinada y toda chimuela. But like, I look at them and it reminds me of me when I was her age. And she looks exactly like me. So it heals a lot of my inner child, knowing that I've become that adult that would have protected me when I was her age, and that can show her that she is worthy of being loved, even through all her imperfections, and that she's never too much and always more than enough, and that she's easy to love. Because I didn't really ever have that. I didn't have a lot of support, and I just want to be that for the people that I love. My little brother is about to graduate high school, and he's been sending me all of his college acceptance letters, and it makes me so proud to know that he feels proud of himself and knows that he can show me all of this, and that I'm rooting him on no matter what he chooses to do. So I'm grateful that I've become what I wish I would have had, and know that I hold a lot of value in their lives and that they love me. And as long as the people that I love me, that's really what it comes down to. So that's what keeps me going. Also, just the fact that, I broke down to Mo about this too. And as I dive deeper into it, unfortunately, my dad did fail me in a lot of ways. He's a great person. I love him to death. I really, really do. But, I've realized that we haven't had the most healthy father-daughter relationship. And I have a lot of resentment because of it, but it's also taught me what it's like to grow up with a narcissistic parent and what narcissistic men are like. A lot of the men that comment hate towards me remind me a little bit of my dad, because it's all the same kind of men who are egotistical, that have a very fragile ego, that have such hate and resentment towards the world, that think that showing emotion is weakness, that just are so insecure within themselves. And so I just take it with a grain of salt too, because now I just remind myself that it's people that are not happy within themselves. And, unfortunately, like, it's not for me to deal with. It's a reflection of them and not me. So it is what it is. I saw this thing that's saying that que la gente mala se destruye sola. So, they'll receive the karma that they're probably living in their karma, because they live such a miserable life, because they don't take the time to look within themselves and heal the parts of them that are broken or damaged, and they just project onto others and blame the world for their problems. So I chose to continue, because after that, it's been nothing but reminders of me actually having some type of value and people actually seeing value in this podcast. I had one of my regulars come in who watches my podcast and ask me like what he can do to help me so that I can make it better. And I just asked him for a mic. They're only $70, but he was like, that's your Christmas present. And he was giving me shit because I didn't ask for anything more expensive or anything like that. But I was like, I don't ask for, I'm grateful for anything that I receive, and I'm so grateful for everything that people like give me. I'm so blessed. I've had so many people show me love even this past week. Like, I had one of my girls from TikTok paint me a Frida Kahlo painting. I had another one of my girls get me a Papi mug because she knows I love my cafecito, and a notebook, a journal, because I love to write. And she wrote the sweetest note on there, and she got me a candle. And I've been into burning candles as of recently, just because of, the saying, like, don't wait to burn candles, like, enjoy them in the moment. Like, don't wait for special events. Don't wait, like, celebrate life every single day. So got into burning a lot of candles. And so yeah, it's been beautiful. This blanket is from one of my friends from work. She gave me a housewarming gift. I have some clothes sitting there from a friend who has a clothing brand called As You Are, and it's a streetwear brand, and it's so dope, and I'm very excited because I'm hoping to get some cute pictures of it in that clothes in Puerto Rico. And yeah, everywhere I look in this little apartment, I see a lot of love and all the pieces and reminders of the people that love me and care about me. So at the end of the day, that's truly what I gotta focus on, because I really am so blessed and I'm so lucky. And I know that I have purpose. I was just thinking back to Thanksgiving. This was the first Thanksgiving where me and my mom and my little sister just kind of did our own thing. My dad always throws a fit and kind of, like narcissists do, ruin Thanksgiving, ruin the holidays in general because they like to make it about them. So this time we didn't let him stop us, and we went to my mom's side of the family's Thanksgiving, and it just felt so warm and full of love. Like all my cousins that I'm close to, my aunt that I'm really close to, my grandma, my madrina, we were all there. My little brother came, so it was really, really beautiful, and it just felt safe. And my mom was like happy and let her guard down. Y estábamos platicando, like me and my aunt and my mom. And they always talk about this because we were talking about how I'm about to be 26. I'm going to be 26 on the 26th. So it's going to be my golden birthday. And they always talk about how when I was born in Chihuahua in Mexico in the winter. And 6 days after I was born, I got pneumonia. And it was at the time where my mom had me and my brother a year apart. And my dad was working here in the United States, so she was basically out there like as kind of a single mom because she didn't have my dad to support in any way because he was here in the United States. And I got really, really, really sick, and the closest hospital was an hour away. My mom didn't have a car or means to get me there or money, but she figured out a way and got me to the hospital. And they always just talk about how, they had to spend I thought it was a few days, like sleeping on the ground in the cold. But it turns out it was almost 2 weeks of them being in the hospital with me. And my aunt was talking about how she spent her birthday at the hospital with me. And she was so upset because she had to miss a baile and she really wanted to go to it. But she was like, it's okay. It was worth it because, you're here now. And my mom was like, yeah, like, we had to sleep on the ground and it was super cold y no teníamos dinero, but por lo menos te tengo aquí, And they were talking about how I had never heard this part of the story, but there was a señora who also had a baby que acababa de nacer that was also born on the same day I was. And que lloraba mucho la señora, that she would cry a lot because she didn't have the money to give him the care that he needed. And my aunt was like, oh yeah, que no le diste dinero, telling my mom. And my mom was like, oh yeah, creo que sí le di. And I was like, you gave her money? And she was like, yeah, pues no, pues yo no, ni yo tenía, pero pues pobre de ella, like. And they were just talking about how like they didn't know if the baby made it or not, but that they're grateful that I'm here now. So just the fact that I'm here now 26 years later, and that other kid might have not made it. I think they said he didn't make it, I don't really know, but I'm just grateful that I'm here now and I'm about to be 26, like, and things haven't always been so easy, but I'm here now. And the guy literally commented, he was like, you ain't no Kardashian, bitch. And I was like, you know what? The Kardashians basically built an empire off of receiving hate. So, and I know damn well I'm not a Kardashian, but I do love when Miss Kimberly Kardashian said that she didn't get this far just to get this far and not be happy. So I'm gonna use that as my motto too, bitch. But yeah, I just feel like I've always had a greater purpose, and there's been a lot of really shitty things in my life, but I feel like it's all been worth it and made me the person that I am today. And so I don't take anything for granted, and I know that everything that I've been through has made me a stronger individual. I'm not gonna let people who want to just project onto me stop me from doing what I actually love and appreciate doing, and connecting with the people that actually do love and care about me. The love that I receive is really truly what keeps me going, and knowing that so many people actually resonate with what I have to say and support me and want to continue listening to what I've been through, and that find value in what I'm doing. So I do really want to say thank you to all the people that push me to keep going and that genuinely love and support me. I've had a lot of people truly hold me up as of recently, and so I'm very grateful for that. Grateful for the people that want to support me and see me do well and be happy, and that look at me lovingly, because I just wish that times 10 to anyone who wishes that upon me. So, but yeah, that's basically what's been going on in my little brain. I definitely do miss talking to you guys, and will continue to use the lessons in my life to guide me and share them with you guys as well. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode.